Hey, what's up guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. Are you ready? Especially if you're over here in Canada and the United States. Yes, it's coming. I mentioned this the other day. I don't get too deep into forecasts, especially if they're over 10 days out. Now that we're getting a little closer to the main event, we'll go ahead and talk about it because it does look like this is going to materialize. What's up everybody? AZ Watchwoman, good to see you here. Having coffee with common sense. Angel Miller, good to see you guys here. Man, check this out. If you guys are, especially in the northern half of the United States, but this is going to be a large scale event. I was kind of hoping it would get smaller and maybe not materialize, but it definitely looks like it's going to. I've been using all the resources that I've used for years. I've been a hurricane hunter for 20 years, so every once in a while I'll follow a snowstorm if it's going to be a big one. This is going to be a big one, and it's going to be very complex. So be ready for anything. There could be a very large scale multi-state ice storm coming up the 24th, 25th, into the 26th, covering multiple states, impacting millions of people. The cold air itself, it's definitely going to impact millions of people. It's already started. Here's the thing, it's going to get bigger. Our friends up in Canada, they're used to the cold, not a big deal, but it's going to get exceptionally cold. -30, that's the actual temperature, not the feel-like temperature. You can see this map here stretching from Washington all the way down to Atlanta and all the way across to Maine. This is a massive cold front that's going to dip way down into the central Texas area, even southern New Mexico. It's going to be cool out here in Phoenix for a while, but not for very long. But this is going to collide with a mass of, hey, what's up there, Tina Baco? Good to see you here. Thank you, Tina. Tina's a Star Family member. If you guys want to become Star Family members, like Tina, the link's down in the description box. See this teal color right here? And I thank you in advance. That's moisture, my friends. That's almost lining up like an atmospheric river. See it going all the way back over into the Pacific, up across Mexico. There it is, in Texas. And this is on the 24th into the 25th. The stage is being set, guys, so be ready for anything. No joke. We're probably going to see power outages galore because I'm going to show you guys some stunning ice totals. These are predictions. Right now, nobody knows because it's too early to tell still with regard to how much. Is it going to happen? Yeah, it's going to happen. How much? That's a very, very fine line to walk. Let me show you something. Let me show you what I found. Okay, we're going to start off with the snow. Okay, these are snowfall totals on the 26th at 8 a.m., okay? 29 inches in parts of upstate New York. Not super uncommon for that part of the world, but nevertheless, that's a lot of snow. 11 inches down in through even southern New York. 18 inches. These are snowfall totals through Monday, okay? Alex Will, thank you. You're welcome, my friend. 13 inches over in Massachusetts, 12 to 14 inches. Southern Vermont, 17.9, 18.8. Are you serious right now? Northern New Hampshire, 20 ball. Up into Maine, anywhere from 6 to 7, all the way up to 18. Unbelievable. Down in Pennsylvania, 13, 15, pretty common. Upwards of a foot of snow about anywhere you go in Pennsylvania. No, I'm not joking. Ohio, let's look at Ohio. Ohio's seen some big snowstorms in the past. You're about to see some more big snow totals. 8 inches, pretty much across the board, anywhere from 4 to 8. The entire state of Ohio. Wow. Okay, we're going to get to the ice here in a minute. That's the thing. That's what causes the big, big problems. This is going to impact air travel. So if you guys are planning any type of air travel this coming weekend up in New York, this is the most densely populated area of the United States, and there's a lot of airplane traffic up here. It's going to be it's going to be tough traveling this weekend and into the first part of next week. No doubt about it. There's going to be a ton of snow, high winds, super, super cold temperatures, well below freezing, and the snow. Tina Baco, thank you, my friend. Thank you for the I haven't had one of those in a while. Hey, what's up, Alex? perfect songs to listen to. Yeah, you guys are going to have some snow. Get that fireplace ready. Get the warm blankets out. It's going to be cold for the next 5 days. It's going to be very cold. Back to the snow. Look at the snowfall totals. Oklahoma, pretty much the entire state of Oklahoma. Are you serious right now? 7 inches, 6 inches, 5 inches. This is through Monday. That doesn't mean it's going to stop snowing. This is just through Monday. Virginia, looking at 8 inches in northern Virginia, possibly 9, upwards of 10. West Virginia, anywhere from 2 to 8, maybe 9, 10. Kentucky, same way. The purple is 6 to 8, anywhere through northern Kentucky, central Kentucky, southern Kentucky, looking at maybe a couple inches, northern Nashville. There you're on that line, that fine line of that freezing rain when you get into southern Tennessee. Holy mackerel. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute. Memphis, you guys could see some freezing rain. I'll show you Oklahoma. Then Dallas, looking at snow through the northern half of Dallas, up in the Dallas area. Northern half of Texas, possibly 8 inches of snow. Southeastern New Mexico, again, 6 to 8, maybe 2, depending on where you're at. And then, of course, snow up in Wisconsin, Minnesota, anywhere from 9, maybe 10, 11 inches of snow. Massive amounts of snow up in Canada, plus 20 inches in multiple locations, even as much as 34 inches just across the border. 36, that's 3 feet. Michigan, 8 across the board, even 12 inches up in the northern part of Michigan. But the purple, 8 inches all across Michigan. So you get the idea. There's going to be a wide, long band of snow expanding for over 2,000 miles all the way up into our friends in New Brunswick. Look at that. Nova Scotia, possibly 40 inches of snow. That's even hard to say. 40 inches of snow. Hello, that's a lot of snow. Okay. Here's the major part of this storm. Again, the setup, it's easy to read. I mean, come on. You've got the cold air mass. This is all moisture here, okay? So yeah, there's going to be something collide, and that collision is going to create a variety of types of precipitation. You're going to see sleet, freezing rain, snow, lots of snow because of this right here. This is setting up like an atmospheric river about to collide with a huge mass of cold air. Doesn't take a genius to figure that out, does it? There's your point of contention right here. Right here. Dallas, Arkansas, southeastern Oklahoma, northern Louisiana, yeah. Northwestern Mississippi, oh yeah. Northwestern Alabama. Look at the state of Tennessee. That pink means freezing rain. Oh boy, here we go. We haven't seen one of these in a while. And that power outage map, guys, I'm just being real. There's going to be power outages. This looks like this is going to materialize, but again, nobody knows how much. We know that the snow, and even over here at windy.com, showing the white is snow. We just talked about that. Right here, this pink. Ah, boy. Okay, this is starting on Friday night. The freezing rain is going to start in North Texas, southern Oklahoma, over into Arkansas. Let me show you how long this freezing rain is going to last. This is wild. And keep in mind, the cold air is firmly in place. Look at this. And it spans multiple states. Follow the pink. Goes all the way over to the East Coast. Are you serious right now? Spanning from basically southeastern New Mexico. There's the pink, south of Carlsbad. All the way over to the coast of Myrtle Beach. That is nuts. That is nuts, man. I'm telling you, that's huge. Okay, so that long line of freezing rain, again, starting on late Friday night. Okay, now we're into Saturday. Just stepping it forward 3 hours at a time. So when I show you a total, like right here, 0.34 inches, that's in southern Arkansas. That's in a 3-hour period. Yeah. Let's do the math here. Step it forward another 3 hours. Another 0.38 inches in 3 hours. Wow. That's going to be a lot of ice, guys, no matter how you slice it and dice it. And that's big. There's your big, massive snow going all the way up through into the northern part of New York, up into Maine. That's on Saturday evening. Snow extending up the pink. It's the pink that's troublesome. So it started on Friday night. goes through all day Saturday, freezing rain through parts of Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, most of Arkansas. All that pink is going to be going for over 24 hours, and that's freezing rain. Let me put it this way. I was in a freezing rainstorm back many, many years ago, and it did the same exact thing. It was the same type of setup, just about 400 miles to the north. We didn't have power for a week after this baby went through, and it lasted for a solid 24 hours. It looked like a winter wonderland. I still remember it, and I was just a little kid. Yes, I remember it. Those pictures I'll never forget. And this is going to be one of those types of storms you're never going to forget, especially if you're in the path of this ice. We know what happens when ice accumulates on power lines. The power lines get real heavy. They basically can come off the poles from the additional weight. I've seen it. They sag all the way to the ground until they just can't hold on anymore. I've seen the poles snap off at the ground. There was 3/4 of an inch of ice accumulated in my area up here near Springfield. Again, when I was just a kid, I still remember it. 3/4 of an inch. Every power line for miles was down in multiple counties. It was unbelievable. So we're seeing the same type of setup here. Got the mixture. Now the blue is rain. So you can see the rain set up, and the rain obviously kicks in when the temperature warms up a little bit, but it's still going to be cold for several days. And it's going to move completely out on Monday at 1 o'clock in the morning. So this is going to start on Friday night. So get your firewood in the house, do whatever you got to do. I used to heat a place years ago with firewood, and anytime a storm was setting up like this, I would just put the firewood on, it was inside in the back porch, so I didn't have to go outside, especially if it's going to be a long duration event like this. And this is going to be a large scale event. Much ice, much snow, and how are people going to deal with it when the power goes out for an extended period of time? Because that is a very plausible scenario. It is a very plausible scenario. Right now, it's just the totals. Nobody really knows exactly how much. It could be much more than this. You're looking at a 0.44. That's almost a half an inch of ice in a 3-hour period, Saturday night at 9 p.m. So basically, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., you could see nearly a half an inch of freezing rain, just depending on where you're at. And again, we can thank this big fella right here, that light blue you see, light dark blue, almost a purple. That is heavy, heavy moisture that again is going to collide with the cold, super cold air. There's your vortex right there. See your polar vortex? And there's your jet stream. That's how the jets line up during the La Nina, El Nino transition. Look at that deep wedge down in there. Hello. Yeah, that's going to really thrust the moisture up into the central plains and the east coast of the United States, where the northeast up in New England, you guys could see over a foot of snow quite easily, because all of this moisture that was freezing rain down here in the Gulf states and Texas, Arkansas, is going to push up into the northern tier, northeastern United States as snow. That freezing rain is going to turn into heavy snow, very heavy snow, into Monday night, into Monday afternoon, clearing out. Got some flurries moving in on Tuesday morning, but for the most part, this is going to be a big, big deal. Probably one for the record books, no doubt about it. You guys will remember this. I remember it. I'm going to be following this with you guys. I may not be in the storm, but I was in one. That's plenty. We were without power for a 7-day span. No power, none. We had the fireplace going, and that's where we slept. And we did okay. It was in March. It wasn't like it was super, super cold, but it was a freak storm that came through, and we were right on the cusp of the snow and rain, right in the middle. So just be ready, guys. It's coming. Absolutely, it's coming. And this cold air is going to impact over 200 million people. Everybody up in Canada is going to feel the super cold air. And by the time it's all said and done, and it dips down and occupies pretty much every state, but maybe one. I don't know if it's going to impact Florida. It may touch the Florida Panhandle, but I kind of doubt it. So you're probably going to see over 40 states, all the provinces up in Canada, affected by, at the very least, the very frigid temperatures. The moisture is going to be pretty much concentrated between, I don't know, the southeastern part of Arizona. We're not going to see much out here, though. That's rain. Maybe see a little bit of rain even in the Phoenix area on Saturday, but not much. But the vast majority of it's going to be through the Central Plains. Heavy ice in Arkansas, northwestern Mississippi, all of northern Louisiana, southeastern Oklahoma, and you can see the broad stretch of pink through central Texas, north central Texas, the Dallas area, Plano. Heavy ice, guys. So it all depends on how much moisture is being pushed up with this almost what looks like an atmospheric river. That's what's being set up out here. So we'll see. Anybody that says they know exactly how much it's going to fall, they don't. This is going to be an evolving, changing event. Over here at Tropical Tidbits, they're normally right on the money, and they're showing significant snowfall totals. This is snow. I don't have freezing rain on here. This is snow. So just based off of, this in generally speaking, there could be a lot of snow in areas that we've already talked about. The snow's coming, cold air is already here. It's on, guys. The stage is being set. It's coming. We follow these like we do solar storms. Solar storms, can be tricky too, like weather. The forecast can change. That's why I waited just a couple more days. I mentioned this the other day when really the snowfall totals were not much more than an inch in parts of Tennessee. That has definitely changed. This map over here at poweroutage.us is definitely going to change as we're going to see heavy icing in parts of the United States. So be ready, guys. That's all I can say. Be ready. Have some meals at the ready. If you're in, especially Arkansas, places that's going to see the freezing rain right down in through here. There's a big, wide area. Let me go back to it one more time. Right through here. Have some perishable, non-perishable foods, some crackers. I know when we hunkered down for a hurricane, it was tuna, crackers, water, the things that you didn't want to go to the store for. And if the power went out, you had something to snack on, you would be fine. But in a situation like this where you can have an extended period of time with no power, have a little cash on hand. It's always a good idea. That gives you the ability to barter at any time. So make sure you have a little bit of cash. I know I always did whenever a hurricane was coming. Heck yeah. Cash, crackers, water, tuna, bread. Because if the power went out and I didn't have access to a refrigerator, I knew my bread, crackers, tuna, everything would be fine. Bananas, I would have fruit on hand, just things like that. It's not the apocalypse. It just could be a big inconvenience. That's all. Ice storms can be very, very inconvenient. I was in one. Speaking of inconvenient, look what happened out in D.C. just a few hours ago. A sewer line, this was late on Monday, a couple days ago, 48 hours ago. Check this out. Nothing like a sewer main erupting in your town, sending raw sewage. Look at that. That is raw sewage. Ay, ay, ay. No way, man. Yes way. That happened in D.C. 48 hours ago. Canal Park, where was this at? Near Clara Barton Parkway. Section of sewer line collapsed late Monday with an unpleasant stuff overflowing into the C&O Canal Park. That's what you just saw right there. That is never fun. In fact, that's just downright nasty. Holy mackerel, that is terrible. Hopefully they get that fixed very, very soon. Coming over here to the homepage of the website, today's feature photos were sent in by Karina out of Alberta. Beautiful auroras from the other night. The very long duration geomagnetic storm, Blake out of Michigan. They had purple in Michigan, green over in Alberta. And the geomagnetic storm, we've had solar flares the last couple of days. Not very big though, but we could see some more big ones. Look at how long this storm was. Over 36 hours, fluctuating between G4 and G2. That was a doozy. And the polar regions are still reverberating from the proton storm and the sudden impulse event that literally shook the Earth. The magnetic shields of the Earth went through a major disturbance in this during this event, guys. It really did. It hung in there. It's doing fine. It's doing great, but wow, for no stronger than it was. That was an X19. Gosh, I can't imagine what an X like 40 would do. Whoa, that was an X1. But it was a direct impact. Looking at the summit of Mount Kilauea, still up here percolating. No lava slinging up out of these, not one, but two openings at the summit of Mount Kilauea. When they start slinging the lava, man, they get going. You'll see fountains up here, not one, but two, sending lava 300, 400, 500 feet into the air. But right now, everything's all quiet. But things are about to get busy across the South Central Plains, guys. Ice storm brewing. I put together this little slideshow of the things that we just talked about. There's the cold air, there's the moisture moving through, so be ready if you're in this area of green. Definitely be ready. Have some, tuna, crackers, fruits, things like that on hand, and a little bit of cash just in case. And here's my way of thinking. Right there it showed, see, 0.75. That's I think that's a 2-day total. 0.75. That's 3/4 of an inch. I know exactly what that looks like. It looks like a winter wonderland. Everything is glowing and shining like a diamond. That's exactly what it looks like. And that's exactly what I experienced. 0.75 inches, 3/4 of an inch of ice. And power lines cannot take the extra weight. So again, it's better to have the necessary things that you need and not need them than to need them and not have them. So just have that type of mindset and you'll always be ready for pretty much anything. So be ready. That's all. It's nothing to fear. It's weather, but it's going to be a significant weather event. Absolutely it is. Big old atmospheric river basically colliding with a huge cold air mass that's going to create a winter wonderland in places that aren't used to seeing snow. You guys might see snow down in Georgia, in the Atlanta area. You guys can see snow. There's a very good chance you can see snow in the coming next 72 to 96 hours. Absolutely. Don't rule it out right there. This is a lot of the models are fluctuating right now with how much, snow is going to fall here, there, But yeah, Atlanta, you can see snow. If not snow, freezing rain. And Atlanta's a very big metropolis, so we don't want to see anybody lose power. But if Atlanta loses power, there's going to be a lot of people affected by that. So again, it's best to need it. It's best to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. All right, guys, thanks for spending part of your Wednesday with me. Be ready for the big storm because, yes, indeed, it's coming. Just be ready. Yep, today is Wednesday, and guess what's right around the corner? You guessed it, Friday again. Holy cow, time is in warp speed. If you guys have any photos, videos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports, MrMBB333.com. If they don't attach to the email, and sometimes videos don't, not a big deal. Come up here to the tab that says, have a large video. This is over here at MrMBB333.com. Click on that. That's nothing but a Dropbox. Drag and drop your videos into the Dropbox, but somewhere on your video and photos, you can put photos in here too. Please include your first name, date, and location, and I'll take it from there. Mr. Graham, what's going on? What caused the intense low pressure explosion over the west coast of Alaska? That's a good question, Graham. I'm not real sure. You're welcome, Alex. Memory Trigger, good to see you. Good question, Graham. I'll look into that. I know Alaska saw like 5-6 feet of snow here a while back. They had a massive snow event up in Alaska. But again, Alaska is no stranger to snow. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. Have a super day. And as always, be safe out there.